Pa, pa, para, pa, pa.
Hello, hello, hello. Apa khabar and welcome to all FPL managers. How are you? Hope everyone is doing fine. We are we already finished up game week 21 and now we are looking forward to game week 22. My name is Hafiz and with me is Azmin. How are you, brother?
Fine, thank you. How are you? Quite well rested sepatutnya, so ready to go. Tapi banyak turmoil happening with the league, so a lot of things to catch up.
That's why I don't know whether to panic or not, but we already know that Burnley versus Leicester match has been postponed for game week
Yeah,
22,
that's
and
right.
there also rumors some other matches that might be postponed, like
Yep,
Spurs and Arsenal and so on.
yeah,
We will go through all the fixture and update whatever
yep,
latest news that we have and a press conference by FPN by managers, especially that has been done for the past few hours.
yep,
Would like to remind everyone again. Okay, game week 22 deadline will be at 2:30 a.m. because we will have a game so called tonight, which is at 4 a.m. Brighton versus Crystal Palace. Okay,
yeah.
so man, let's jump straight
Let's
into game
go.
week 22
Yeah,
fixtures.
yeah. We got
All
3 hours left, so yeah, let's go.
Yep. So many things to cover. So we can see here the first game week 22 punya first week ataupun first matches is tonight Brighton versus Crystal Palace, and then tomorrow Saturday night 8:30 8:30 Man City versus Chelsea is a big one. Is between I think first and second place, top of the league, and we already know Chelsea has lost first game. Okay, first at Stamford Bridge 1-0. So Man City has the capability to do it again. All right. Then at 11 p.m. we already know Burnley Leicester has been postponed. We hope every other games will go ahead. Newcastle versus Watford, Norwich versus Everton, Wolves versus Southampton, all very tempting game. And then we have at 1:30 Aston Villa versus Manchester United. We already know Gerrard connection with Liverpool, so he must have apa ni macam want to take a revenge back to Manchester who defeat them in FA Cup fixture at third round. Okay, last week we also know the impending signature Coutinho and Lucas Digne is already at Aston Villa. Then Liverpool versus Brentford on Sunday itself at 10 p.m. and then West Ham versus Leeds. Before we close the first one, 12:30 Spurs versus Arsenal is a London derby. And then we already know 8 games that so-called will have two fixture. Okay, Burnley versus Watford on midweek, Brighton versus Chelsea, Leicester versus Spurs, and Brentford versus Manchester United. We already covered it during our midweek punya show, Zmain. So why not we just run through the team news for the first fixture lah, which
Yep.
is this week. We go the
Okay, so
first
let
one.
yeah.
Yep, Brighton versus Crystal Palace. Man,
Yeah. So Dunk not quite ready, but he may be available for the next match, which is against Chelsea. But either way, it makes it hard for us to try to pick Dunk. But other than that, everyone else from Brighton is pretty much fit. However, they have lost Bisuma in midfield because he is at AFCON for Cameroon. So that for me is quite a significant loss, and I feel that it will mean that Brighton will not be at their full strength in terms of the defense and will probably concede goals to a very attacking Crystal Palace. Okay. And on the Crystal Palace side, so as we know, as seen in the tweet by FS Fantasy Football Scout, Tompkins and MacArthur are both out, but everyone else seems to be okay. So the Crystal Palace, however, are even worse affected by AFCON. So they've got four key players. I think it was, and they're all main players, which is Zaha, who is it? Kuyate, Ayu. Yeah, okay, so three. Zaha, Ayu, and Kuyate. So, but the thing is, we've they've had their other players coming in that who have done well. So most likely the main change would be Milivojevic coming in, as well as Benteke coming in as well for Zaha. So, but it still looks like a really attacking team, and I expect this to be a goal scoring match. No clean sheets here.
Some managers are interested to know whether we could see Trossard starts this game. So because he can be an enticing pick for this week in double game week because Brighton play two matches.
I think so. And what makes Brighton a more interesting pick compared to the other matches. One is because Crystal Palace aren't exactly defensively sound, and there is a rumor that Guaita may be injured as well, but may not be fit because
Ah,
he wasn't able to play in the FA Cup match, I think. Yeah, so I would consider Brighton quite interesting over other double game weeks like Manchester United, for example, because the attack is it's not hasn't stabilized. We haven't seen a lot of fluidity yet. Whereas Brighton's attack is pretty settled, and they haven't lost any key attacking players, So you got Trossard, we got Maupay, they all still there. Um, so comparing to, for example, Chelsea who have lost Mendy, and their attack has not looked fluid either, having lost James and Chilwell. So Brighton just looks a lot more stable compared to these teams, and something to look at if you want to have a double game week player. Maybe Brighton players would be better.
yep. So among the assets which is can attract managers for this game, we already know Brighton is the earliest matches for this game. So called if let's say it's being called off, it's definitely we already know. So it's more safer to bring Brighton players to our team lah if we are interested. So kalau macam Trossard, maybe McAllister who is really on form recently, and then Lemty or even Cucurella if you have faith on Brighton defense, which is they can be quite okay against Crystal Palace home and another game versus Chelsea, which is not so stable recently.
Yeah, because so Chelsea's attack, who knows? Brighton could end up with a clean sheet
Yep.
on both games.
Yep.
It's possible. Yeah.
Okay, good. So I think we know that Brighton could actually have a good game week, especially in game week 22. We have two fixture. Let's go to the next team, which is the big one, Man City versus Chelsea. I'm not sure whether among asset like Foden, which has been uh, contacted with the COVID recently. Not sure whether we have any news on him, and also on from Chelsea camp, if let's say any news in terms of their midfield, Kante, Jorginho, or whoever fit for this game. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Pep has deliberately decided this week to just um, play with fantasy manager heads with his press conference. So his press conference reveals literally nothing. Some people are coming back. Some people are positive again. Stay home, isolate. We have some new cases. Yeah, without telling anything. So all we can know is that John Stones is still out. He hasn't played since Christmas, I think. Yeah. Then Phil Foden, he's one of those who's supposed to be coming back because he contracted COVID-19. Whether or not so he hasn't played the last two games. Whether or not he'll play, it's still uncertain. Zinchenko also missed, also due to COVID, and finally Mahrez is off for AFCON for Cameroon. So again, this is Algeria, in Cameroon. So again, this is the problem. But with Mahrez around, if you think that Jesus is start, then he has a good chance. Yeah, and the thing is against Chelsea, I do feel Chelsea as okay. We've seen all the injuries. Chalobah, Chilwell, James out. Christensen out. So there's a lot of disruption in terms of the Chelsea defense, and plus you add that to Mendy, who is also at AFCON. So Kepa comes in, who's nowhere as solid. He's still a good keeper, but he's nowhere as solid as Mendy. Although Mendy himself has been quite um, nervous in the past few games. So, but for this game, I expect Manchester City to win this comfortably, maybe even 3-1 or 2-0.
Okay, all right, fair. Because Chelsea missing the likes of Chilwell and also James, so maybe on the flank, Man City we already know as really good players running on the flank, like let's say Foden, Grealish, or Sterling. So
A
Man
lot,
City
yeah.
attack can make a damage to Chelsea team,
Okay,
right?
so
So
the question is because Chelsea are one of the teams that have a double game week. So this is the problem. Because they have
yeah.
one really hard matchup in Manchester City away as well. I can't remember who are they playing
Brighton,
in their
another
second
one is
match.
Brighton away.
Brighton,
Yep.
okay. So again,
Yeah.
Brighton, one of the more stable teams at the moment. So it's hard, but if I were to pick up one player who I who would probably who's probably
Okay.
able to perform, it would be Mason Mount. Yeah, I mean he's pretty much carrying the Chelsea team at the moment in terms of the
Okay,
attack.
fair. If let's say managers are not free hitting this week, if you want make transfer to bring in Chelsea player, I'm not too sure because after this Chelsea will have another tough match and then going off for World Cup competition. Okay, tournament.
Mm,
So might not advisable, but on free hit, I think is excellent choice if you
yeah.
do not have any Chelsea asset. Mm.
Yeah, so free hit, you definitely look into bringing Mason Mount because he's the one asset who you would think would perform. I'm not sure who else. Who else would you
Would
want
you
to
dare
risk?
to bring in Lukaku? Huh.
No, because it does feel like Tuchel doesn't trust him yet. He's not shown after his and plus after his recent press conference. So one interview, sorry. So one angle is that he's gonna come out and prove the doubters wrong kind of thing. But the other side of the coin thinks that this is Lukaku. He's not that kind of person. So I just can't see him doing that. Pulisic might be a nice dark horse pick there, but I don't know.
Mm-mm.
I'm
But
not
we are not too
convinced.
sure whether he will start both game. So
Yeah, that's the
that's
thing. We
the
don't
concern.
know that
But
midfield aside from Mount is a dangerous minefield.
yep. Okay. I think let's go to the next match, which is exciting one. Newcastle versus Watford. Where I put picture of Chris Wood there because Eddie Howe confirms that he's ready to play this weekend, and we all also know Watford among the asset being targeting by managers Dennis and also King. What's later news for both team, man?
Well, the funny thing with Newcastle is that with all the money that we were looking at Newcastle spending, we didn't expect a Chris Wood to be the first first big signing for Newcastle. But it does go to show that you can have all the money, but if people don't want to come, it won't be so easy. They want to see some success. So which means that this Newcastle Watford game is quite important. While
Yep.
we're still in the
Yep.
January window, if Newcastle can show that they are capable of putting up a decent performance against Watford, it will help open the door for more signings for Newcastle. Otherwise, if they
Yep.
lose against Watford, and let's face facts, this is a relegation rival match. Yeah, if Newcastle lose for
Yes.
Watford, it's gonna look worse. Of course, in terms of injuries or COVID cases, there are still a few cases, but he expects most in Eddie Howe's press conference. He didn't reveal any more COVID cases, but he said that he did seem to be confident about it. Okay, so other than that, no one important is out. So they pretty much fit on their side. On the Watford side, yeah, the best news for Watford is of course Dennis staying, um, and now he's going to be playing in this one, so which is always good for him. Interesting news though, which is Foster returning to training now. Now Foster
Mm.
could be a potential double game week player, and I would think that if he's fit, he will immediately come in. So
Ah.
it's an interesting question for Watford. Those who still have Ben Foster and probably a single game week keeper. So would you play Foster now? So, but the problem now is that Watford's second
Mm.
match is against Burnley, and as mentioned earlier, the Burnley Leicester match has been called off because of cases on the Burnley side. So, which makes it very risky to play to have a
Yep.
to expect that the second match will go on.
Maybe they will call off that game also, so we are not so sure. So we just need to be prepared.
Yeah, yeah. So just a quick note on Dennis. So he did skip the FA Cup match midweek, but the manager did say that it was purely precautionary. So it may not. Yeah. So he should be back for this one.
Okay, interesting. This is definitely a big game for both teams because Watford on 13 points, dekat number 17 in the league, and Newcastle uh, on 11 points at 19th place. So whoever wins this game will go on top, okay,
Yeah.
and move out from this relegation zone lah, so called the top
Yeah.
three bottom. That's why it's
This so
important. So, mm,
so this is another
I can
goal scoring
see.
match.
Yes, I can see Watford is not sitting back. Definitely, they will
Yeah.
go out. Ranieri won't sit back, and Newcastle definitely won't sit back behind, in front of their own crowd. So that will be very interesting game.
Yep. Right.
Okay,
Shall we
next
move on?
game, Norwich versus Everton. Also an interesting match because, like other manager who brought Everton asset last week, and they stuck with with Everton player this week, most probably might have to play Everton players due to so-called like other matches. Leicester who's already called off. Spurs not sure whether they want to bring in, and Watford has potentially only one game. Let's say Burnley continue to their COVID cases prolong until a few days more. So
Okay.
what's latest from Norwich and Everton camp if we want to see the likes of DCL and so on?
Okay, on the Norway side, pretty much, what's in the tweet by FFS. That's it in terms of the key players. Nothing really significant in terms of fantasy football's purposes. For Everton, the interesting part is that Lucas Digne has gone off to Aston Villa, and
Yep.
yeah, so and apparently um, Anwar El Ghazi, who is now in Everton as part of a loan on loan. So the
Yep.
manager confirmed it was part of a swap kind of deal for Lucas Digne to head in the other direction. So so Anwar El Ghazi is on loan. Will he start immediately? Yes, he will start, but I expect him to start because he's on loan and he's fit. But we do not he'll do anything. I'm not so sure. Iwobi is away at AFCON, which means that for me that El Ghazi will start. Okay. In terms of injuries, DCL didn't play at the FA Cup either because of some tightness in his calf, but apparently he should be fit for this one. Everyone else, Richarlison, apparently he's returned to training, but not yet ready to return for this. But of course, those of us who went
Oh.
for Everton and got screwed over in the double game week 21, you should still keep your Everton players for this one, because they should play and hopefully do well. It probably won't be a lot because Norwich at home is tough, but no reason not to
Yeah.
field with your Everton. People like Gray or DCL, you should still play them.
on on paper, Everton should win this game, but do you feel that or how Norwich?
No, you're absolutely right. On paper, Everton's squad is stronger and they should win, but can't trust Everton these days. I'm sorry.
but
Sorry,
I
Ahmad.
mean,
Sorry, Everton.
if let's say we have like DC Agri, I think we just play them. If let's say we
Yeah.
don't have any other option. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Okay. let's go to the next match, which is Wolves versus Southampton. All right. I guess Southampton are really on. Uh, they won last game 4-1 against Brentford, so they're really on form. Okay, and Wolves also recently won against Manchester United, so both can be really good form to play each other.
That's right. Yeah. So Wolverhampton, as mentioned in Lago's conference, pretty much um, no change. He Ching Huang is still out. Um, Pedro Neto is still out, and Johnny is still out. Now, as we know, Boli and Size are both away for the Afcon, so that's it. So that will have some disruption in terms of Wolves' defense. For Southampton fresh from a 4-1 win in the league
Hmm.
against Brentford. Yeah, so
Brentford, yeah.
of course but we can't expect to the players because they don't have a double game week. But the main keynote, as mentioned there, is that Livramento is injured, so that will
Yeah,
hurt those
less
who are not.
less one more bench from for my team.
Yeah, so that's one less bench player there. So who will come in? Most likely Perard will come in, but yeah, it's not worth it in terms of fantasy.
Yep. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know if let's say you still have Jimenez, you just play him if you don't have anyone else to play. I think we just roll whoever player that you have for this game week 22.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the next one, which is Villa versus Manchester United. I'm really excited to see this game, especially that Coutinho is already in Villa camp, and also Lucas Dini has been signed by Villa. I'm not sure whether he starts or not, but Gerrard has confirmed that both are available for selection.
All right, so Villa is starting to look really, really ambitious. They spent quite a bit during the in summer, as we talked about previously, bringing in players like Buendia and Ings and Bailey, and now they're bringing Coutinho and Lucadinha. So is they looking good, and Villa have looked good anyway. And
Mm,
although they lost 1-0 against Manchester United in FA Cup, it wasn't easy ride for Manchester United either. So now they get to do a replay at home. So it
mm.
could make it tough. And this is why this matchup makes it hard. Why I was mentioning earlier that none of the double game week teams have both two easy matchups. So against Villa, this looks hard, and I wouldn't surprise if Manchester United totally blank in this one, because Aston Villa are capable and their defense is strong. With
Yep, yep,
Martinez, Mings looking good now, and then you have Cash, and now if maybe Lucadinha in as well,
yep,
which
yep.
will also help in the attack.
Yep. So I feel this is also a good test if let's say we want to see, because Coutinho has been priced at 7 million, interesting price. Okay, and he could easily be bringing in. And I think I heard I read some news that Aston Villa could have potentially double game week next week, man. Yeah, game week 23.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so the likes of, if let's say Coutinho perform this game, for sure people will start bringing him next week. If confirm double game weeks, some more people will definitely interested to bring in the likes of Watkins and also Coutinho. I don't know whether Dini perform and he could actually an alternative at the back, Cash or Dini, right?
The thing with Coutinho is that I'm speaking as a Liverpool fan, so I knew that I would love to see the Coutinho of all, but the fact remains that after he left Liverpool, he has not been the same. Yeah, he has suffered. He hasn't done well. So we've got a player who's not in form at the moment. So we can he get back in form? We're not so sure. Of course, the other thing is, of course, that this is a double game week where Aston Villa is involved. So it'll be a good match for us to see how Coutinho does.
Yep.
However, as Hafiz mentioned, as you mentioned, definitely if the game week 23 ends up with the double game week for Villa, then yeah. So let's watch this one.
Yep.
Okay, so on the Manchester United side, uh, so according yes, so just from Ganesan, yes, Ronaldo was injured during training, but apparently he has returned to training and looks like he will be available. So he did train. According to the tweet, he did train. Okay, so
Right. Good news.
yeah, it's good news. So um, apparently Harry Maguire will be back as well. Phil Jones, or but of course, if Harry Maguire is back, Jones probably won't play. One thing is that Shaw is suspended, so that paves the
Ah.
opening for Diego Dalot to play again. I think there's another guy suspended as well. Who is it? Scott McTominay. So Scott McTominay is injured and suspended, and this for me is quite insignificant. Quite significant.
Hmm.
Yeah, so
Yep.
it'll be interesting to see. Eric
Then Matip
Bailey.
will start. Matip or Van der Beek could start.
Matic will not be able to handle Villa's midfield. No, I think he'll get overrun. So yeah, I don't see Manchester United keeping a clean sheet here either.
Okay, okay, but whoever has Ronaldo, officially welcome this great news. But if let's say you don't have him, so I'm not sure whether you want to bring him in. But he's the most prolific, premium forward that we can have for this week. Ronaldo or Kane, or you can have both
Yeah,
if let's say you're
yeah.
facing.
So the thing is that with people were already looking at Bruno because Ronaldo, or because of the news that Ronaldo was injured, and we know that before Ronaldo came in, Bruno was the star player for Manchester United, and now with Ronaldo looking like he might play, all interest in Bruno has just gone down the drain. So so no, yeah. I mean, if you were to pick, you probably want to pick Ronaldo. I'm not going to because I'm not convinced by the Manchester United attack. But if you are and you feel that they will click, then Ronaldo is the choice for you.
Yep, yep. I think Ronaldo is definitely a tempting one to bring in because so-called on paper have two favorite fixture, but not sure about away to Villa, but maybe away to Brentford he can do or perform.
Ganesan, I
Uh,
wouldn't be surprised if Villa win as well. Yeah, I can see Villa possibly winning this one.
and Ganesan is actually a Manchester United fan. Yep.
I see.
Okay.
Wow.
Yep. So he's being realistic. Okay. So let's go to the next game, which is Liverpool versus Brentford. Your team, man. I expect only good things about Liverpool versus Brentford. We know Salah, Mane, Keita has gone to AFCON. How the lineup will be for Liverpool?
Okay, so the thing with Liverpool, we saw Liverpool's first game without Sadio Mane, without Naby Keita, and of course without Mohamed Salah, which was in the FA Cup match against Arsenal. The the League Cup, and they didn't do well at all. It was really really poor. They and end up with a 0-0 draw. There were chances. There was very few chances, and the chances that they did have, Minamino had a really good chance and really didn't should have scored but didn't. Um, so it does look so against a well organized team like Arsenal, they failed to score. However, we are looking at Brentford, and Brentford are terrible. They just lost 4-1 to Southampton. I don't think their defensive issues are gonna go away anytime soon. Ever since Raya got injured, it's been an uphill battle for Brentford. In terms of injury news, Liverpool are fine mostly. Only the other players like Harvey Elliott and Origi are out. Thiago is out as well. But aside from the three key players missing for AFCON, yeah, that's pretty much it. On
Okay,
the
you mentioned about Liverpool playing Liga. I forgot totally about that. When I saw the lineup, actually, it's a strong team. To be fair, Klopp
exactly.
actually put a strong team with Jota, Firmino, and Minamino. I think that's the front line that we can play at this point lah. With the absence of
Yep.
Mane and Salah, and then you
Yeah.
can see backline all the main player TAA, Matip, Vinder, and Robertson all starts.
Yeah. So on the Brentford side, yeah, we're not, of course, the people who we have, Mbuemo and Tony, are both fit, so they're fine. But again, it's all about Brentford and looking bad. After a decent start to the season, they've just crumbled. So yeah, those who've
I
held
can
on to Jota,
yeah,
you should keep him.
I can still remember, man, the reverse fixture Brentford versus Liverpool is like 3-0, 3-all, tiga
No,
sama,
yeah,
right? So but Liverpool actually almost win the game until Brentford come back. So
yeah,
this may be where Liverpool will turn that back. And
yeah.
is Jota a must for this game week? What do you think?
So
If
this is
people
the
don't
this is
have
the
him.
challenge for people who don't have Jota. Yeah, and even if you're free hitting, will you have Jota? For me, you should. I definitely, if you have Jota, you keep him. But if you don't, you definitely have to consider, if you're doing a free hit, Jota or even Firmino, because I can see Firmino getting into the right positions and scoring a hat trick with this one. It is possible. So it's a case of who gets the goals, Jota or Firmino.
Yep. Firmino can be explosive sometimes, but it's not so consistent. But Jota, lah,
Hmm.
we know what he's capable of. He can produce goal or assist.
He
So
can, but he can be
definitely,
he
yeah.
can be frustrating as well to watch sometimes, Jota.
Fair. But I think, like you mentioned, whoever have it, definitely keep for this game. If you're free hitting, with the Leicester are now playing only one game, I think like it's no brainer to put Jota as one of your midfield player.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, okay, let's go to the game West Ham versus Leeds. We already know West Ham did have double game week last week. They performed, especially Bowen, whoever Captain Bowen. Okay, and now West Ham versus Leeds, which is can be another good game for West Ham assets. What do you think, man?
Yeah. So we know that West Ham are looking good at the moment. And Cresswell is back, and apparently Kurt Zuma is coming back into training. So we
Hmm.
probably won't see him for this match, but we will probably see him for the next game week 23. Uh, Susek and Noble could be back. Of course, the key player is Susek more than Noble.
Okay.
Because Susek was due to COVID, so we don't know he'll be back. We're not sure. Um, on the Leeds side, yes, apparently Bamford has a shot at coming back. Apparently, so
Okay.
but of course
Right.
we're not gonna be picking him now. Not at this point. But definitely a look at for game week 23. Other than that, yeah, they pretty much this. All the key, some of the key defenders like Lorente are still out. Cooper is out. Calvin Phillips is out, so definitely West Ham will still score goals for this one because quite a few of you who had Antonio and Bowen, and maybe even a third West Ham player. I think you had Diop for game week 21. So for game week 22,
Yeah.
if you're not free hitting, then you might as well keep them.
Yep. Yep. Fair. I think this is another back-to-back game West Ham versus Leeds. I think West Ham versus Leeds during FA Cup, right? I
Hmm?
think so. Yep.
Yeah.
They fought Leeds for FA Cup and they won 2-0, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Okay. Last but not least, the London Derby, Spurs versus Arsenal. Hopefully everything goes well, means that continue to play this game, but I'm not too sure. But at this juncture, we expect Spurs Arsenal game to go on. So what's latest news for Spurs and Arsenal? Because Arsenal played last game League Cup against Liverpool. I'm not sure whether there is injury.
Yeah. Okay. On the Spurs side, so we're still trying to see what's going on with Eric Dier, who has been missing because of COVID. Of course, the biggest frustrating news is about Son, especially some of us like me who bought him in last week only for him to get injured, and apparently he's only be back in mid-February, so that's gonna hurt. On the Arsenal side, we know all the players who are away, but for the AFCON, but of course only Thomas Partey is the real big loss because people Aubameyang and Pepe are now pretty much on the fringe. Um, Saka was subbed off, so we in against Liverpool. Sorry, so
Yep.
apparently, according to the manager Mikel Arteta, he felt something towards the end of the match. So we're not sure what's going on there. Other than that, yeah, Tomiyasu, who also didn't play because he wasn't fit against Liverpool, so he might be out as well. And Emil Smith Rowe, apparently the reason that he hasn't started is supposedly because he has an ongoing problem that is being managed. Yeah, that's why he doesn't play. He's only come in as a sub, although although he's been productive enough as a sub. That apparently there is another reason. It's not just that. The players in his absence, Arsenal is performing. The other additional one is Odegaard, who apparently turned positive for COVID, so he'll be out for this one. And of course, Granit Xhaka, no surprises. He got sent off against Liverpool.
Again.
He's the reason.
Right.
Yeah, so it's just Liverpool being poor, not be able to make use of that advantage. Yeah, but
Spurs definitely Spurs definitely up for this game because I still remember they've been overplayed by Arsenal last fixture at Emirates Stadium, and surely Conte wants to, because I fully expect Spurs and Arsenal is fighting for the fourth place in the league. I think these the two team will end up the fourth place. I'm not sure who. So definitely Spurs or Arsenal wants to end up being advantaged by winning this game. Yeah. Okay. I think we already covered everyone.
I'm curious to know who do you expect?
Sorry, again?
No, I'm curious to know because you said Spurs and Arsenal, you expect them to fight for the fourth. So I'm curious to know who you have 1, 2 in the first, second, and third positions.
Yeah. First, second, and third, we already do Man City, Liverpool, and Chelsea is already up there. The fourth is actually up for grab. West Ham is still fighting for that. I think Spurs and Arsenal is just between those. I don't think Manchester will catch up for fourth place, but we're still open for that Champions League spot, the fourth one.
Okay. So so of course, so we covered all the injury news, but maybe we want to just quickly take a look at the midweek fixtures, the second week fixtures for those who are on double game week.
Okay, so you want to go back to the fixture, is it? Okay.
Yes, let's go back to the fixtures and.
Yep, this one. Yep.
Sorry, I just saw the Ganes's comment first. Is United. Okay. So all right. So now let's look at Burnley Watford. So again, the problem we mentioned earlier with Burnley Watford is, if Burnley Leicester was suspended because of Burnley having COVID-19 cases, will that flow on to the second match? And we have seen that it has happened in previous matches before, where the second game or the second team impacted the week after also gets called off. So the risk is there. For me, I suspect it will be. So we don't bring in any Watford players now, but if you have King or Dennis, you'd still probably want to play them. Then you have Brighton versus Chelsea. So I feel that this will be a tough match for Chelsea. I think Brighton at home is quite strong, and Chelsea missing a lot of their key players, James, Chilwell, and Mendy. So ironically, those are in the defense. But then because their attack has, without these James and Chilwell, they have clearly not on the same standard as they were before these players got injured. Then you have, okay, so Leicester versus Spurs. So this was the second half of what we
Mm.
thought everyone would pile on to Leicester players like
Yep,
Madison.
I'm about to transfer in Madison until this news.
Yeah. So, however, on the other side of the coin, Spurs will also have two matches. So, um,
Hmm.
while Son is injured, but those who are free hit will probably bring in Kane and maybe Mendy as Mora.
Mora.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think Mora is really a good um,
Okay.
pick. Yeah, because he is one of the more consistent performing players since Antonio Conte came in. So there's no reason why you
Yep.
shouldn't. And he's not expensive, you know.
Yep.
Okay, then finally Brentford, Manchester United. So we talked about how
Hmm.
bad Brentford are, but but
Hmm.
Manchester United's attack aren't that great either. We talked about
Yes.
how Liverpool. I expect Liverpool to steamroll Brentford. However,
Okay.
I don't expect Manchester United to steamroll Brentford because one, Brentford at home, and two, we haven't seen that fluidity for Manchester United that we've seen a lot more for Liverpool on the Liverpool side. Yeah, so while still expect Manchester United to win against Brentford, it's probably going to be a close match with not a lot of goals.
Yep. Okay, good. So the fact we know Burnley has matches against Leicester has been called off. So Leicester only left with one game, Leicester versus Spurs. So whatever that we advised before, like bringing Madison Tillemans, I'm not too sure now. Okay, I'm not too sure now. With only Spurs game at home and it's a tough one. So
Yep,
maybe we don't bring in any Leicester asset. Are you still interested to bring them in? The fact we already know
Leicester.
only one match. Hmm.
Yeah, for if it's a single game, yeah, I'm not. I mean, I feel that if you want to go for a single game player, there are other more tempting options. Like for
Hmm.
example,
Yeah.
Liverpool against Brentford if you don't already have Jota. West Ham against Leeds if you don't already have Antonio.
Or
Then
Bowen.
you have
Hmm.
or Bowen for that matter. But if you didn't have Bowen last week, well, sorry. Uh, then Watford, if but Watford may have two matches, so
But
there you
what
go.
for that's
Chris,
potentially being called off. So
yeah.
I'm not too
For
sure to bring any.
Crystal Palace have looked good. So I don't. If you fancy, I wouldn't mind if you fancy bringing
Okay.
Gallagher, who can also be useful for the long term, because
Okay.
Palace have looked good in attack.
Yeah. Sorry, we are not suggesting any Brentford asset, or even though they will have two fixture, because both are a tough one, Liverpool and Manchester
Yeah.
United. But if
I,
you
I get
still
for
have,
those
hmm,
who are yeah, I get for those who are free hitting, they'll still want to consider bringing Tony or Buemo, but yeah, I just don't see it.
yep, yep. I think we already covered everything, man.
Okay, so
So
you want to
let's
address some questions before we get to our team?
okay, Ken. Yep,
I'll show the first one that I saw.
yep. Please, please.
Hang on. Okay.
Okay. Coop C Coop. Oh,
Hey, already did Son to Madison yesterday, and now Ronaldo is past fit. So should I do Salah to Olisi and Pookie to Ronaldo for -8, or just do Salah to Bruno for -4 only? Hafiz, what's your thoughts?
Okay. I've learned my lesson during this COVID time with a lot of predictability. I won't go negative eight anymore. Okay, that's my own experience. Okay, I think you already done Sun to Medicine early. I won't blame you. Medicine supposedly have two fixture, which is again Burnley and also Spurs. Okay, I'm not sure the overall team that you have. But Salah to Bruno is not a bad one, but I'm not so keen on Bruno. Okay, maybe Azmin has different view from me, but I think I think if possible, play with whichever team that you have. Salah is some managers feel that if let's say you still have him, you maybe want to consider to keep him because he might be back in game week 24. But I'm not sure of the overall team that you have. If let's say you are not transferring Salah out, so
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. I mean, I think I won't do it.
Uh, you'd want to do which one? Both? Either?
Both, both,
Yeah.
both.
Okay. The thing with Pookie is that Norwich do play Everton, and Everton uh is in their defense has been really bad. So yeah, I don't see why you would sell
Fair,
that.
but Pookie not
Uh,
really on form, so I'm not sure.
yeah. So yeah, as mentioned by Hafiz just now, we don't know what your new team, what the rest of your team are, but because having
Mm-mm.
Salah on the bench just feels like a waste of units.
Yep,
There's just too many units, which way you could
fair,
spend.
fair, fair. But it's definitely have a lot of money because he can transfer out Salah for anyone. I prefer someone like KDB or Sterling, even though they have like bad match this week, but upcoming like Southampton, I think Norwich and so on. So looking forward, Man City has a better near, but I won't
Yeah, yeah.
override because Manchester United has double game week this week. Are you
Okay.
maybe anyone Manchester United fan can answer whether you confident that Bruno can start both game? I'm not too sure.
Okay. Yeah, but, you mentioned KDB. I think KDB might be a great pick here. Against Chelsea again, playing a former team, and he's slowly getting back into form. If Foden's not around, then KDB is could likely play in that false nine position as well. And Chelsea missing Chilwell, James, and Mendy, they are vulnerable in the defense.
Okay, fair,
So
right. Next question.
right, Lazy Paco. Hey boys, thoughts on Sterling as a differential? Not very high owned. I'll answer first. I'm not a big fan of Sterling because of the price point and what he's capable of. I feel at his price, you might as well just go for KDB, who has a lot more potential. Of course, he's a good differential, but it's a bit hard for me to suggest him to others.
Yep, yep. I think De Bruyne is a much better asset. Both are can be considered differential right now. I mean, Sterling at
Mhm.
3%, KDB at 8%. So, but the price is a bit different, 10.7 against 12. So, if you have the money, then go for KDB.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Next question.
Oh,
Is
is
it
it
time for
time?
Joelinton? Okay, so you see the problem here is with Chris Wood coming in,
Yeah.
and we've got who's that? Saint Maximin there as well, as who's Callum Wilson. Yeah, so you got Callum Wilson there, you got ASM there, and now you got Chris Wood there. So is Chris Wood going to immediately start? Because if he does, then Joe Linton would be the person who will lose his spot because they will
Mm.
reshuffle,
Yep.
and Chris Wood will then become the point man, and maybe um, Ryan Fraser Callum Wilson maybe just playing just behind Chris Wood, or playing two up front, and
Yeah.
well
Or
ASM maybe.
Sam Maximin is there also. So maybe a lot of places to fight, and I'm not sure. To be fair, okay, this is my personal lah. I think Jolinton is not a bad choice if let's say they don't buy any striker, but I feel with Newcastle already has a lot of money to spend during this January and to ensure their safety in Premier League. I think definitely they want to buy a striker to at least support during Callum Wilson absence. Yeah, I think is it 1 or 2 months, right? I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. Okay, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure about Jolinton. I don't think he will have much minutes with Chris Wood around.
All right. So next
Okay.
question from Zeno Agura. Start one from Foden, Kufal, Alt Nori. Give us.
I would definitely start a midfielder over any defender.
Oh, is that it?
Uh,
Okay.
yep.
Yeah, for
Which
me,
is
yeah,
Foden lah.
I
Foden
do
is
feel
the
even though
only midfielder there.
yeah, so even though Kufal has a much better matchup against Leeds and can turn,
Yep. I know
first,
Kufal.
Chelsea
I know
City are playing
Kufal.
Chelsea, and of
Yes.
you, we talk about the risk of.
Yep. In general, I will start midfielder over defender. But since you mentioned that Kufal have game against Leeds, and has potential clean sheet and maybe attacking return, so maybe Kufal has a better output for this game week lah.
Okay. See, I feel that Foden, it should be okay to feel Foden, because if he starts, then he starts. But if he doesn't start, I can't see him being subbed on.
Okay.
And so and that will allow Kufal to come in if needed.
All right. Let's go to our team. Is it?
Yep. Let's go to our teams.
I can show your team first. If let's say still relevant, I think so.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me show. This the one we capture last
Yeah.
in
Yeah. It's
in
still
our
relevant.
show. Still relevant, right? Yeah. Okay,
All
man.
right. So okay. Yeah. Good. Good. Okay. So hang on. Let me just. I need to enlarge the screen. I can't even see my own team. Okay. So I haven't made any transfers yet. So I'm looking at okay, DCL is probably going in. DCL and Cancelo are going into my first 11 over Keane and Saka. Okay, so that's the two
Ah.
changes that I'm making. Keane and Saka will drop to the bench. I will probably risk fielding Foster as well into my first 11, because it's just that
Okay. Fair.
Ramsdale play against Spurs, which is not the best matchups. I feel that if Foster has a chance to start both matches, then he will return more. So I think it's a risk that I can afford to take. So the big difference is Son. Who do I sell Son for? I've got quite a bit of units in the bank, and because I have ruled out Ronaldo, I'm not going to bring in Ronaldo. So it's a case of
Okay.
who do I replace Son? So do I go for someone like Bruno? In
Okay.
terms of Chelsea, I already have Mount, so I'm not going to bring any other
Fair.
Chelsea, even though
You have two
Chelsea have
assets,
struggled.
Rudiger and Mount. To be fair.
Yeah, I have two. So Bruno seems likely, but if Ronaldo plays, then I'm not so confident on Bruno. So I'm actually currently looking at either a single game week player like Jota, or uh, from Brighton.
Yep.
And yeah,
Ooh.
if you followed our show
Yes.
for the
Yes.
start of, I seem to have a keen
Yep.
liking for Brighton assets this week. So
Fair.
and
Fair.
if I were, then I'll sell some for Trossard. Obviously, that leaves me with a lot more units, but I'm not fussed. I feel that it's something we can afford to have spare units, and
Yep.
makes it easier for us to bring back Salah later if needed.
Yep. So you're keen on Trossard.
Yeah, I'm very keen on Trossard at the moment.
Okay, I still remember you somewhere game week berapa. I forgot that you mentioned about Trossard you want to bring in, but you didn't bring, and then he actually scored a goal or assist, right?
Yeah,
So he got
let's
like
see.
double digit points. So maybe it's his time again this week.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I don't want to miss out yet.
The other
Um,
one is Jota, right? So Jota, you already know is the favorite pick among managers now. I won't blame you if you want to go the same template that everyone has, but Trossard is like
okay,
digging.
so if I wanted to be slightly different, and the thing is, because if if I'm playing DCL, then that means I'm not going to be able to field five midfielders. So because if I
Betul.
wanted to bring Jota and Trossard, for example, who do I sell?
Hmm.
Who do I
Correct,
sell,
correct.
and who do I put on the bench? And I'm definitely,
Hmm.
and honestly, you could say Bernardo, but I'm not going to put Bernardo on the bench. I feel that against
Okay,
Chelsea, he definitely can score. So,
okay.
which means that I can't bring in both Trossard and Jota. So let's say I bring in Trossard, then if I want to cover that Liverpool match, even though it's only one match, but it's very enticing. Who do I go for? And I'm looking at Firmino. And if I want to buy Firmino, I will probably sell Antonio. Even though they play against Leeds, yeah, Antonio hasn't been the best, and I feel that Firmino would have a better shot against Brentford at home. But it will mean I'll take a -4 hit. So it's a risk.
You'll take now -4. That's what you're thinking now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Firmino and Jota.
Firmino and Trossard.
Okay. Firmino and Trossard. Firmino and Trossard for Antonio and Son, right?
Yep. That's
And
what I'm looking at now.
Yep. And then you play 3-4-3 with Mount, Trossard, Bernardo, and Bowen.
Yeah.
And then you play Firmino, DCL, and King. You bench Saka. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's a good choice. Yep.
Okay, so that's me. Let's look at you.
All right. Let's go to my team. Okay. In goals, I have De Gea. He has double game week. I'm happy with him. Okay. Even though maybe Manchester United might not win the game, at least I can safely know he has potential of double-digit haul, clean sheet, or even save point. TA, everyone has it. Cancelo, I will play Cancelo, okay. But Dalo is something that I had him, okay. Now I just roll my dice, just play him, play him. If they say he starts one game, so be it. If he doesn't start at all, then at least I hope I got Diop to come in.
Yep.
But what do you think? There is potential Dalo not start at all, or maybe start one of the game?
Oh, he'll definitely start the first match because Shaw is suspended.
Okay, but if let's say I saw some predicted lineup, Wan-Bissaka and Teles, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a die roll, and it's a big risk because if Manchester United are winning and Dalot didn't start, he may get subbed in for 1 pointer, and yeah. But the on the positive side, he does get a chance, 2 shots at it. So yeah.
Yep. So I think I just roll the die and just play him. Yep. Okay. Instead of playing Diop,
Yep.
Okay. Then in midfield, I have Gray, which I brought last week and only play one game. Bowen, Jota, and Mount, who has 2 fixture. We both have Mount. We just play him. Okay. And then Antonio, Ronaldo, double game week player, and King also. So I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or maybe 4 lah, so-called double game week players. Son, my first intention is to change Son to Madison and play him and bench Gray. But with this situation now, if I want to bring Mora in, we are not sure whether Spurs might be called off. So why not I just don't do anything? I just play this team.
Yeah. I guess it's with with the Leicester match called off. Yeah, then because you already have Manchester United players. You already have King. You also have Mount. So it's not so bad if you wanted to just roll over. I can see a roll to the next week. Yeah, it's possible.
And say next week double game week for Aston Villa. Then I can make 2 free transfer for Aston Villa asset.
That's right.
Maybe change San to Coutinho, and maybe change say Livramento Dalo to Cash or Dini, something like that.
Yeah. So based on what you see from both our squads, it's clear that we aren't going to free hit. Yeah. On Hafiz's side, he wasn't planning to free hit anyway. On my side, during midweek, I thought that I was likely going to free hit, but with the latest injury issues and Leicester the Leicester Burnley match being called off. So I just feel that I don't need to free hit. I can save the free hit, my free hit for now, and wait for more better enticing matchups. And to be fair, it's still possible for more matchups to be called off, like the second Burnley Watford match. So I feel that I'd be wasting my free hit.
Yep, I really think, especially during this COVID time, I think free hitting is quite dangerous if, let's say, we got it wrong. Yep, I think we
Yeah.
can take some more questions before we end our show.
Yeah, so this is from 256 Skeptics, Matthias from Uganda. Hi, Matthias. I heard
Hi.
rumors that Watford Burnley may be postponed. Any ideas from you guys? Yes, because the main reason, which mentioned earlier in the show, is that Burnley Leicester was called off. So it all depends on when Burnley's cases were detected that caused it to get called off. Because if you have to look at that 5-day isolation period, then it's quite possible that we may not make it, because the Watford match, the Watford Burnley match is on. Let me just check. Um, on
Wednesday, right?
Tuesday night.
Oh, Tuesday
Well,
night.
Tuesday night in the UK,
Yeah.
and Saturday. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So that's really cutting it close. So we don't know in terms of when the Burnley cases was detected, but it's dangerous. You're right, and I think it
Yeah,
was
I think I won't be surprised if that game call off. Mm.
yeah. So he has another comment saying, "Be careful with King. He falls in that Burnley issue." Yes, exactly. So it's not just King, but Dennis as well. The two popular
Yep.
picks. I think Dennis is more popular.
Yep.
But yeah, but for those of us, because we already have King and he will play in the match against Newcastle, so
Yep.
it's as even as a single game week match, he's good enough to play for the new. It's a good enough matchup to play against Newcastle. So definitely we're
Yep.
still picking. Yeah.
Maybe we should treat this game is actually single game week, like easier for us to evaluate these players. If they say we just mentioned for this game week, this the first half of game week 22 so called. I
Yeah.
think if they say Newcastle versus Watford is good enough for me. We can try, and maybe the worst case King only got two points. So that is why
Yeah.
people who actually thinking of captaining Dennis, they should go whether Ronaldo or Kane. But Spurs, you also we're not sure, right? So
Yeah. Yeah. So for me, because the Spurs are so I've from yesterday evening, started looking at it as just as a single game week. So which meant that I took out the Aston Villa Manchester United match. I took out the
mm.
Spurs Arsenal match. I took out the Brighton Chelsea match. Sorry, the Manchester City Chelsea
Yeah, Man
match.
City,
So
Chelsea, yeah.
so because of that, the only matchup left that I was okay with having two matches was was the Brighton ones. Yeah. So yeah. So by looking at it as only single game, it does it made it much easier for me to choose my players.
Okay, man. Uh Remember everyone, our deadline will be at 2:30 a.m. It's like 2 hours from now, roughly. Okay. And we appreciate all your support. Do like our video and subscribe to our FPI Jedi show. And
Yeah.
hopefully we'll
So
yeah.
So hopefully you guys haven't made any transfers, but be careful. So you guys get ready. Get the latest news. I haven't really checked during the this streaming any of the latest news. So once the streaming is off, I'm going to start really looking and seeing. We both are. So
Yep.
all the best
Hard
to you
work.
guys. Yeah. So careful. Take care. And of course you need to. There's a lot of fake news going on as well. Just through a lot of people I don't like who try to just con other people into buying the wrong players, with wrong news. So be careful with that as well.
Right, guys. Good luck. I know it's tough, but this is how the game will be for during this COVID time. This is the challenges for our competitive player like us. Hopefully, we stay vigilant. Okay, and all the best for this week. Good luck and take care. Bye bye.
Bye. Good luck. Game week 22.